All right, gentlemen and ladies, we're going to start the meeting. In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6, adequate notification of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the record. I'm going to ask everybody to please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'm going to ask you all to please remain standing for all our men and women who fight for the freedom that we enjoy each and every day, both here and abroad, and also for all those who fell victim of the silent killer, as we know, is COVID-19. And I also want to include, we lost a very special person, an icon in the city of Garfield, one of our own board members, Dr. Kenneth Conti. He passed away last Thursday of complications of the COVID-19. He was a true community person his entire life, whether it was through his medical practice or in government. He was a board member for the city of Garfield from 1986 until present. He also served on the city council from 1972 to 80, and during that time he held the position of deputy mayor. Prayers go out to his family, friends, and everyone else. A moment of silence, please. Roll call, please, Dr. Cosmano. Unmute the mic, gentlemen and ladies. Roll call.
Mr. Keelis? I'm getting delayed back. Yes, present.
Okay.
Mr. Derrick? Here. Mr. Barber? Here. Mr. Barquette? Here. Mr. Mazzola? Here. Mr. Focarino? Present. Mr. Nusafora?
Mr. Nusafora, roll call.
Here.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Garto?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, let's move on to previous board member minutes. Motion to approve previous March 22nd, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. President.
Go ahead. I have a motion by Mr. Fogarino. All in favor to approve the minutes? All right, second. Excuse me. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Barber. All in favor? Aye. All approve. Aye. All opposed. Okay. At this time, I'm going to move on to the superintendent's report. Ms. Siaka.
Good evening, board members and members of the Garfield community. As we are all aware, the education system is undergoing dramatic changes and will continue to change as necessary as our community strives to adjust to the new normal of remote learning. I will begin my report this evening by stating that we have not received any further word from the governor regarding the opening of school. At the current time, it stands that we are closed until at least May 15th, and the governor will address the issue again as that date approaches. In his address today, Governor Murphy stated that there is nothing new to report regarding the reopening of schools and that he will address it closer to May 15th. My report this evening will center around the district's efforts with remote learning. Remote learning began on March 16th in the Garfield School District. Pre-K. Our pre-K administration began by working with teachers in preparing lesson plans that are literacy-based to support daily learning. These plans include the following domains: social-emotional, literacy and language prompts, fine motor activities, math, art, and gross motor activities. Parents are provided with materials via email, teacher webpage, and hard copy for parents that do not have internet access. Teachers maintain daily communications with parents regarding their students' progress through email. Beginning the week of April 27th, all preschool teachers will be required to conduct one live lesson via Teams each week and post 2 recorded lessons each week. The live lesson will be done 3 times in order to work with small groups, as the 3- and 4-year-olds can be easily distracted. It also provides the opportunity to differentiate the lesson as the teachers would do during the small group instruction, and it allows the students to see and interact with one another and with the teacher. For the recorded lessons, the minimum requirement will be 2 times per week, and those lessons are based on the math and English language arts pre-K curriculum. Our PERT and social workers are providing support to families and sharing resources to assist parents with dealing with the challenging behaviors at home and helping the children to focus on learning activities. There is a process in place for conducting wellness checks and contacting families who have not been participating in the remote learning activities. Remote learning on the K-5 level. The district sponsored 2 learning packet distributions on March 17th and again on March 30th. From that point forward, we moved forward with computer distribution until we had the comfort level that all families have access to a computer device and internet access. As part of the one-to-one initiative, the district purchased laptop computers for all students in grades 4 through 12 for personalized use. Our plan was to allow the 4th and 5th grade students to begin to take the laptops home in the spring. So we were in the process of giving them out to the 5th grade students at the time of the closure. We did hold computer distributions on March 23rd and 24th for grades 4 to 5, and again on April 3rd for students in grades K to 3. All lessons are now delivered electronically, and parents are asked to reach out for support and assistance as needed. The current requirements for K-5 remote learning: in English language arts and math, there's a minimum of 3 video lessons per week that the teacher will provide. Social studies and science, 1 video per week. Art, music, and world language, 1 video lesson per week. And phys ed, 2 videos per week. We will also have a Boilermaker break on Fridays. This is a day where students can catch up on work, seek individual help from the teachers, and participate in their choice of assignments in each content area that are aligned to the curriculum. This helps our students to stay motivated and to continue to pursue their own individualized interests by looking at the variety of assignments that are available to them. Teachers will be available to assist students with individualized instruction and respond to questions and concerns that students and parents may have. Remote learning at the Garfield Middle School and Garfield High School. Students in the middle school and high school have had their personal laptops since the beginning of the school year. The middle school and high school teachers are posting a minimum of 3 video lessons per week for each course that is taught. They will begin to implement a Boilermaker break on Fridays as well, and they will have assignments available that are aligned to the standards in each content area. Once again, this is a day for students to catch up and also to participate in a learning activity of their choice. Update on special education. Our pre-K special ed update. The preschool inclusion teachers are providing 3 live lessons per week. The preschool self-contained teachers are also providing 3 live lessons per week. And our pre-K teachers serving our autistic students are presently doing approximately 16 live sessions per week. Elementary special education. Live lessons must be a minimum of 3 per week and can be as many as 10. Middle school special education. The autistic teachers are meeting with their students again daily and are also doing whole group lessons and small group lessons. Our MD teachers are meeting with students 3 to 4 times per week via live lessons. All co-teachers and self-contained teachers are doing live recorded lessons daily with those students. High school special ed. The MD teachers are meeting live with students 3 times per week and meeting with students individually when needed. Self-contained and co-teachers are providing notes, tutorials, and interacting daily. We are still providing services in occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, and counseling in accordance with the IEP. These services are provided remotely. However, we are providing approximately 1/2 of the services outlined in the IEP due to the remote learning schedule. As far as IEP meetings, they are going on consistently through Teams meetings, including our teachers, child study team members, and parents, so that we remain in compliance with state and federal mandates and continue to develop and modify students' IEPs as needed. English as a second language remote learning. Outreach to families here is key, especially with our English language learners. Teachers are using multiple means of communication that are available, including Talking Points application, which provides translations in various languages, phone calls, emails, team meetings, and teacher-created websites. Our goal is to stay connected with these students and families, to support them, and to convey that there are still learning expectations in place during remote learning. Our ESL and academic interventionist teachers are conducting virtual lessons using Teams or other platforms on a daily basis. At the Garfield Middle School and Garfield High School, ESL students continue to improve their English language skills through remote learning. They stay in touch with their ESL teachers through Teams virtual meetings and discuss assignments and expectations that are required. The ESL students are provided daily instruction on Teams. The assignments are designed and modified to meet every proficiency level of the students. Our nurses, they continue to work remotely but remain connected to students and families by making routine wellness checks and keeping a close watch on students with medical issues. Parents are encouraged to contact the school nurse with any questions or any concerns. They have also worked remotely to update all student records. Our guidance department. The counselors continue to stay in constant contact with teachers and principals to see if any student is having difficulty at home with schoolwork. They contact parents via email, Teams meetings, or phone calls to discuss a plan for any students experiencing difficulties. They're checking in with students who they would normally see on a regular basis. They are video conferencing with one another and brainstorming ideas to provide the best services for our students. They often visit classrooms via the Teams platform to check in with teachers and students. They're taking part in professional development webinars pertaining to visual counseling, particularly emphasizing professional development on student stress and anxiety and anything related to counseling during the pandemic so they can best serve the needs of our students and community. They're updating their websites regularly with resources and referrals. And they're using social media, Twitter, and post daily information regarding social emotional learning, mindfulness, and self-care. The counselors have taken on a very extensive role during this pandemic, given the increase in the anxiety that it has caused. The high school is starting a Teams coffee and counselors session this week. They will target different grade levels. This week, juniors and their questions about SATs, ACTs, and the college application process will be the topic. The high school also created a mindfulness team so students can check in daily for live chats with 2 counselors and social workers. Activities include all types of social emotional learning activities, including meditation, yoga, and stress. The elementary counselors are starting to use a YouTube channel to create videos pertaining to social emotional learning and mindfulness activities for both students and parents to watch and participate in. This has helped improve communication with the elementary students. Our technology department. The tech department has prepared computers for distribution and continues to address issues with any of the devices that have been distributed. The department also continues to provide the important professional development for staff, students, and families in regards to using the Teams platform, as well as developing our computer skills. Our secretaries, they are working remotely but are carrying on the necessary functions of the main office. They are doing mailings as necessary, contacting parents, and submitting purchase orders. Our central office staff are considered essential to the operation of this school district, and they work remotely as well as on-site as needed. Buildings and grounds. Our custodians and maintenance workers are coming in on a rotating basis to continue to maintain the cleanliness in the schools and keep up with the surrounding grounds. The district has now ordered sanitation foggers, which will be used to disinfect the schools and buildings in the near future. There are a few other topics that I wanted to bring up this evening. One of them is grading. The grading policy for the fourth marking period and final average are being determined at this time. Parents and students will be advised of any change in the policy prior to the end of the school year. We are currently exploring ways of grading students with remote learning by using meet standards or need support instead of pass-fail, and considering that, we will make a determination for every level of learning. So elementary will have their grading policy, middle school will have theirs, and high school will have theirs. This will be announced to parents and students prior to the end of the school year. In the meantime, we are encouraging every student to give 100% effort to the remote learning, despite the challenges that they may be experiencing. The next topic would be graduation and our end-of-year events and the school calendar. Our school calendar has been revised, and it is on the agenda for board approval this evening. The last day of school for all students and staff will be June 19th. This then will put the middle school graduation to take place on June 18th and the high school graduation to take place on June 19th. Our district has begun planning for end-of-year events and the graduations. We completely understand the significance of these events and end-of-year activities for our students and families, especially to our 8th graders and most importantly to our high school seniors. At the current time, we anticipate that social distancing will still be enforced, so our creative ideas are now at work. Once the governor makes a final announcement, our plans will be finalized and announced. But please know that committees are already organized and working on some very wonderful ideas. Meal distribution. As of April 20th, the district extended the distribution of meals to all Garfield youth, ages 3 to 18, regardless of income eligibility or school attended. Meals are currently being distributed at the Three Saints location on Outwater Lane between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. each day. We will be opening up secondary locations, possibly at Garfield Middle School and School 10 in the near future. So please continue to check the district and school websites for updated information. So once again, all youth in the city of Garfield, regardless if that child had been receiving free or reduced lunch or if they attend Garfield Public Schools, are eligible to receive meals. Please take advantage if possible. In closing, I just again want to say thank you. It seems just too small to just say thank you, given all of the efforts that have been made by our administrators and our entire staff for their efforts and hard work to remain connected to our students and families. The wonderful challenges that are posted, videos of staff saying hello, and all the other activities that bring something positive to us in these difficult times. I want to thank the parents and families for being such great partners in educating our students and for your patience with us as we work through the challenges of remote learning. I want to thank the Garfield Police Department and the Office of Emergency Management for all of their assistance with our distributions and also for their concern for our students and families. The Garfield Boys Club and the YMCA, who have reached out to seek any families that are in need. So once again, families, we know these are very difficult times. If there's any need at all, please reach out. You can reach out to your building principal with your needs, and we will reach out to community organizations that can help. I'd also like to acknowledge our middle school teacher, Chris Brach, and the volunteer group Strangers Helping Strangers. The group has been delivering food and computers to families that have no means of transportation. I also want to thank the Garfield Board of Education for their heartfelt support for my administration and their concern for our students, family, and staff. It is greatly appreciated. The Garfield community has been hit hard in terms of number of reported COVID cases and the number of deaths, including our own board member, Dr. Kenneth Conti, who was remembered here this evening. In the end, it will be about our grit and the strength of the human spirit to work together to overcome these challenges. I continue to be proud to lead this district and to be a part of the Garfield community. I hope everyone remains safe and healthy as we look ahead to brighter days. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ziakis, Superintendent of our school. That was a tremendous report. And as she said, I want to thank everyone involved in these uncharted waters that we see ourselves in today. And I'm not going to go over who she mentioned, but from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of the board's heart, we all want to thank you for, doing what you're all doing. All right, let's move along to our committee reports. Any committee reports, gentlemen?
Mr. President, due to the fact that there has been no school and the virus, and I was in the hospital for a period of time, I did not have meetings for either one of my two committees, so I have no report at this time.
All right, Mr. Nusiforo, thank you, and thank God that you're healthy. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other committee reports? Mr. Folgarino, go ahead, sir.
As you know, and I want to report to the rest of the board that we had a finance committee meeting where we discussed moving forward with the ELISA law requirement, and we're going to bring up all of our schools to at least the minimum, if not exceeding the minimum requirements of ELISA's law. In addition, through our frugal and fiscal prudence of the administration, I can report that this year's budget is on solid footing. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, yes, we are moving forward with the ELISA law. We not only met, minimum criteria, we've went far beyond that. And I just wanted to add that you left out that we had asked our administration to go back to the company that we had chosen and the administration has chosen to see if we can save any monies. And I'm happy to say that they were able to cut an extra, I think, $13,000 on top of the already $25,000 that they cut from the very beginning. Is that not correct, Mr. Cosmano?
We got it down to
349.
349. Sorry.
So it was 362. So.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you on that. Anything else with committee reports? Okay, let's move along. New and old business. Anything on new or old business? Okay, let's move along. Resolution, possible consent agenda. Okay, let's get right down to the meeting then. Personnel. Resolution 7.1 to 12.1. I need a,
So moved, Mr. President.
I need a motion. Okay, wait, let me get to the page. Motion was by Mr. Folgarino, second. Everybody turn your mics on. Mr. Barquette, second. Okay, any comments? Any comments on personnel? If not, let's take a vote, please. Mr. Keelis, you're being asked to vote on the personnel.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Mr. Derry? Aye. Mr. Barber?
Aye.
Mr. Barquette?
Aye.
Mr. Mazzola?
Aye.
Mr. Focarino?
Aye.
Mr. Nusafora?
Aye.
Mr. Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, let's go to education, resolution 14.1 to 15.1. I need a motion.
So
Motion,
moved, Mr. President.
Mr. Fogarino gave the motion second on education.
Second, Everett.
Second, Mr. Nusafora. Thank you, sir. All right, any kind of comments? If not, roll call, vote, please. Any comments? No? Okay, let's take a vote, Doc. Mr. Keelis, you're being asked to vote on education?
It is on. Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Derry?
Aye.
Mr. Barber?
Aye.
Mr. Barquette?
Aye.
Mr. Mazzola?
Aye.
Mr. Focarino?
Aye.
Mr. Nusafora?
Aye.
Mr. Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, finance, resolution 17.1 to 18.1. I need a motion on finance.
So moved, Mr. President.
Okay.
Barquette?
Barquette had it, Mr. Barquette,
I'll
second?
second that.
Second, Mr. Fogarino. Any comments, any discussion on finance before we take a vote? Okay, Dr. Guzmano, vote please.
Mr. Keelis?
Mr. Keelis, we're voting on finance, please.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Derry?
I'm gonna abstain on vendor 2632 and LP, and also Altice. I and the rest. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Barber?
Aye.
Mr. Barquette?
Aye.
Mr. Mazzola?
Aye.
Mr. Focarino?
Aye.
Mr. Nusafora?
Aye.
Mr. Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, let's move right to buildings and grounds, resolution 2.1. I need a motion.
So moved.
All right, who said so moved?
I did.
Mr. Derrick. Mr. Derrick gave the motion, second by?
I'll second.
Okay, second by, I don't know who that was, Mr. Mazzola.
Yeah.
Mazzola, any discussion before we take a vote? Any discussion on buildings and grounds before we take a vote? All right, Dr. Guzmano, vote. I'm sorry, somebody say something?
Mr. Keelis?
Vote on buildings and grounds, sir.
Got it. Mr. Derry?
Aye.
Mr. Barber?
Aye.
Mr. Barquette?
Aye.
Mr. Mazzola?
Aye.
Mr. Focarino?
Aye.
Mr. Nusafora?
Aye.
Mr. Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right. At this time, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open this up to the public for any comments that they may have. So at this time, this meeting is open to the public for any public comments. We do have one comment. Let's hear it.
I would like to be speaking on all graduation and prom info. There's a serious issue with how information is being issued out.
Who said that? Who would want to be Oh, Miss Lane.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ms. Siaka.
Okay, so Miss.
The comment is from Miss Lane, who is asking for more information on the prom and graduation. So again, I want to emphasize, Miss Lane and all the parents,
How much consideration is going into planning these activities, given that social distancing will be enforced, and the governor has not made a decision for us to go by regarding the reopening of schools. So I can assure you that once plans are definite, that you will be included, and you can contact Mr. Miko for updated information, and I'm sure that it will be given to you. There is nothing here being kept in secrecy. It's just that plans are not definite. We were kind of left, and we're not the only district that feels this way, because I will tell you, with my communications with other Bergen County superintendents, the feeling is the same. How do we release something as a final plan when we are not sure of what is really happening on the governor's end? So please be patient with us, and I can assure you that plans will be finalized. And I also want to assure you, just hearing the ideas that the principals have in the committees, they're exciting given the situation. So I can tell already that a lot of thought and a lot of consideration is going into making it special for our students and families. So I want you to at least be aware of that, as well as all the other parents that are listening this evening. We are not withholding anything. Please let me be 100% transparent about that. And we do seek to make it very special for our students and families. Thank you.
I thank you, Ms. Yager. Being that there are no other questions coming in or comments from the public, let's do what we did again. Motion, I need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Nuciforo, second by Mr. Fogarino. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
Be safe.
Thank you.
everybody.
Everyone
Thank you.
stay safe.